Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is Mr. Shakespeare here with you on the 8th of April, 2023. I'm here with remote viewer and psychic medium, Liz Cross. How are you doing today, Liz?
I'm still here. How are you?
Okay.
You're still here as well. We're both still here.
Right, so we have natal data for the US of A. So let's find out how the United States are doing this month.
Okay.
So
So
if
the
you can
US this month?
put it out to the end of the month, please.
Okay, so I'll grab the US and go April 30th, 2023, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. What would you like to know, Mr. Shakes?
How has the US done this month since today, the 8th? So in other words, the last 3 weeks.
It's not doing well. It's almost like we're sick. You know, as I look at the US as an entity as a whole, it's so funny. It's like it has the flu or it has a cold. It's coughing at me. It's and I'm saying, what's wrong? I don't feel well. So the US is not doing well.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, interesting.
What else could we pull from the US here? So I just feel like we're in a decline. Okay. I just feel like the economy is still continuing to slide down. Have many more banks collapsed? No, not many more banks. Have any major banks collapsed? No, I don't feel like there's been any major banks collapsing. But people are just, they're just not happy. On the whole, they're just living day to day. I feel like the joy has been stolen. It's no longer the economy it once was, where we had a surplus of cash for the most of us. Of course, there's some very wealthy people. Yes, I know that. But, on the whole, they're not the majority. The vast majority are barely scraping by.
Right.
And there's a lot more distrust. Again, that distrust theme is coming in as well. They're starting to really question who we are, where we're going. What is interesting also, let me ask this. How does the younger generation feel? So those that are like 15 to 20-year-olds, how do they feel about the United States? See, they feel doomed, right? They just said, we're doomed.
Right, hold on.
Standing by. Yeah. It doesn't feel good. It's going nowhere. Even though I know it's showing in the green here.
Well, if you look at where we are now, roughly we're coming down in the next day or so. And then we end up at the end of the month exactly the same as where we are. There's a dip next weekend for a couple of days, but
yeah, it just doesn't feel good. Why are these 15 to 20-year-olds? Like, life is impossible. And I keep getting this. Whenever I probe this similar age group, I keep getting the same thing. It's like, why even bother trying? Now, that I find that quite alarming. And the reason I find that alarming is because I've seen that sentiment when I lived in London many years ago. And that was how the young people felt then. God knows what they think now. But even then, it was like, well, I'll never be able to afford to buy a house, and I'll always be in debt, and everything's beyond my control and out of my financial reach. So why even bother trying? I may as well just enjoy life. And then that becomes like a disease. And that disease creeps in. Not saying that I blame them. I totally understand where they're coming from. But that disease creeps in. And then you breed generations of people that, you know, feel like everything is against them. They're not going to climb any sort of socioeconomic ladder. So why even bother? That's what I'm getting. I feel like by the end of the month of April, we're really starting to wake up, and we're really starting to realize this.
Right.
Anything else you'd like to add, Mr.
No,
Shakespeare?
I think no, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. All right. But, let's not project all doom and gloom. You know as well as I do, when we've probed out, when we start getting into 24, there's a recovery. When we're into 25 and 26, we're in, back in a bull market. And then going into 27, we're back in full swing. And then things start to slow down, and here we go again on another cycle. Probably won't be as bad as this one. I think this is probably one of the worst cycles in a while. The cycle that's coming up in the future, and we're talking a good 7 to 10 years out, it doesn't feel as bad as this one. It feels more like a correction, not a downturn. I wouldn't say that this cycle is currently a correction. Would you, Mr. Shakespeare? Maybe, maybe not. What do you think?
Maybe a correction. I don't know. Correction stroke downturn. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, let's see. I mean, look, we got to get through the summer yet. We got to find, all sorts of weird and wonderful things could be happening over the summer, which, might take our breath away. So,
Okay. Well, you heard it from Mr. Shakespeare. There you go. Thank you so much, Mr. Shakespeare. That was great. Thank you.